So let's now start working on our application. And the first step is that I'm going to open up my IDE, and the IDE, as I told you, the one that I'm going to be using is Visual Studio Code. So you need to open Visual Studio Code. You can open it. Of course, if you are using Mac, you can just open it. You will find it among your applications. If you are using Windows, you will also find it among your applications. Just click on, if you go to your, in Mac, you just click on Go and then Applications. You'll find that Visual Studio Code here exists. As you can see, Visual Studio Code. And now, after I have opened Visual Studio Code, we need to create the project folder that's going to hold all of our files. So in order to create that folder, you need to create that folder in, you need to know where to create that folder. And it's very important to create that folder in a location where it's accessible. So I'm going to create it on my desktop because it's easier for me to open it from my desktop. So I'm going to head on over to my desktop, and then I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to say new folder. And here you need to give a name to that folder. So I'm going to name my project AJAX underscore project. And then hit enter, and as you can see, we have this project. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag this folder and then drop it on Visual Studio Code in order to be opened. As you can see, it will be opened in Visual Studio Code. Now it's time to work on that project. So the first step is that I'm going to create here in this project folder, I'm going to create an empty file, and then I'm going to name it index.html, which is going to be our starting point. Whenever we want to run our application, I'm going to rely on the index.html because this is going to help us a lot in terms of displaying data and knowing exactly what's happening behind the scenes. So here index.html, and then I'm going to here add the basic skeleton of our application. So just type exclamation and then hit enter, and it's going to add this basic code of HTML. And then in the body, I'm going to just say here h1, and then I'm going to say this is AJAX project, and then save, and we are good to go. Now let me run this in the browser. So in my browser, I'm gonna head on over to the browser. The browser that I'm using is Google Chrome. You can use whatever browser you want, but in order to open it in Google Chrome, in order to open your project, in order to run your project in Google Chrome, you need first to open your folder, which is this, and then you will find that the extension is HTML. Just double click on it, and it will be opened in the default browser. So I'm gonna double click on it, and as you can see here, it has been opened in the browser, and it says here this is AJAX project.